Hello and welcome to The Balance. I'm your host, Andreana Jackson. I'm a realtor with over a decade of experience in Miami real estate, and my office is in Miami Beach. Today, I have a great topic for you. Very inspiring. The power of balancing of healing and leading women in leadership. Today, I'm joined by the Honorables, Rachel Friedland and Luce Weinberg, both of the City of Aventura. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having me.
having us, Andreana. Yes, we're very happy to be here.
Thank you. Luce, I've known you the longest, so I'm going to start with you.
Ooh.
Both women are very inspiring. I just wanted to ask you, tell us about how you got started, and tell us about your family as well.
Sure. Okay. So, public office
Mm-hmm.
began in 2004 with a very nice campaign against two gentlemen in the city of Aventura. It was very new. But on election day, March 1st, 2005, I won with 62% of the vote, 62, and a three-way race, the only one of the four races that was decided on that night. And that to me was a true mandate by the city of Aventura. And at that time, I did have a very busy job with a very busy forensic psychology practice, evaluating criminals in Miami-Dade County. And I also had three small children. So this was just piling on. I served in the city of Aventura through my reelection campaign in August 2010,
Mm-hmm.
unopposed, and then my term limits in November of 2014, which meant I'm no longer a public servant and I was free to relax a little bit
Yes.
and devote more time to the kids. But that 9.5 year time period, yes, very demanding because my children were at that tender age of just preteen, teen, and still very little one, a 4-year-old. On top of that, I returned to school to complete my degree. I had just returned to school to complete my degree
Mm-hmm.
and finish my 4-year degree at FIU, Go Golden Panthers, psychology.
Yeah.
So I did that with the full-time job, the kids, the job, and then coming into Aventura just after that was a little hectic. So today we're talking about balance, and I'm looking forward to getting into that conversation because there can be a math formula to that,
Mm-hmm.
but it cannot always not always be effective.
Thank you,
Yes.
Commissioner.
She is certainly impressive, and we have
Yeah.
different starts to our life in public service.
Tell us
Luce-
about
Well, Luz started when she was younger, and my career.
I was only 34. I
It's
really
still
was
a lot
only
younger
34.
than I was when I started it. I admit. My life didn't start out that way. I went to law school. I have had and have a wonderful career as a attorney practicing in Florida at one of the largest firms, doing complex commercial litigation. And as my life started to change, and I had a child and another child and another child and even one more child, I decided to try to make life a little closer to home with my four beautiful babies.
Right.
And it was still practicing law and enjoying that. And with my kids and my law practice, I really didn't have a lot of time for community service.
Okay.
And unfortunately, for the young part of my life, I didn't give back a lot. I didn't engage a lot with the community. I focused on my kids and practice of law and my husband.
Right.
But I had been brought up very differently. My father's a doctor who taught us about helping people and giving back. And I always, I admit, I had a lot of guilt that we weren't doing enough to help the community.
Right.
So unfortunately, my family suffered a very tragic incident when my husband passed away. My kids were young. They were about 10, 7, 3, and not even a year. And I decided that I needed to teach them differently.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to focus on teaching them that we help others. And by helping in the world, God will then provide for us. Our finances kind of changed. We didn't have as much. But I decided that I would teach my kids that we would do things to help people. We would go to a homeless shelter and serve food and give free legal advice and play with the children instead of maybe going on a cruise or going on a trip, but we would give whatever we could to help other people.
It's inspiring.
It was very important for me to kind of follow in my own father's footsteps and my mother's footsteps of helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I said, I'm going to teach my kids. If I'm a single mom and I'm working hard for them, I want us to help others. So through all of my community involvement, my kids and I met some people that said, help in the city of Aventura, you live here. So I stepped up and I joined the school board. And I realized I was helping my city and I was helping my community. And that led to encouraging me to run for office. And in 2020, I guess in 2019, I decided to file to run for election in Aventura. I was running against an incumbent, and I knew it was going to be a very challenging race, but I said, I'll go for it. I mean, my kids are behind me, my kids are excited, and we love Aventura. We love our city.
Yeah.
And I saw this as an opportunity to take care of our city where we live and then help beyond our city. So I said, I know Aventura. I grew up there since I was 14. My parents live there. My kids go to school there. This is my city. I'm going to help it, take care of it. And that's what I did. And I had a very challenging race, but my kids were there with me every day. They would be out there campaigning. We went in this first election during COVID, which was an extremely difficult time.
Right.
But we did it together. So fast forward, thank God I had 4 wonderful years that I learned all about politics and government service. And that's what it really is. It is service. It is serving your city and your constituents. And my kids are still a great part of that. There isn't a day that my phone doesn't ring or get a text or an email from a resident with any kind of complaint or any kind of issue. And my children are used to it and know to hold on, mommy has to take this resident's call, or it's a city manager where we have an emergency. And they know when I drive through the city, if I see a homeless person, I know who to call, or if I see signs that we don't allow, I'm the first one on the phone calling the city manager to get our works department out there.
Right.
And if I don't call or start to text my city manager or somebody fast enough, my daughter looks at me and goes, Mom, don't you want to call somebody?
I've seen her do that. She does do that.
I love it.
Can't
I love
miss
it.
the
So they're involved. They're very involved.
They are involved. And I wouldn't do this job or any job if it wasn't involving my family, my kids, because they need me. So that's how I balance bringing them and making them a part of what I do. If I go to community events, I try to take them with me unless they don't want to anymore. And I know Luce, by the way, we have talked about that. It's exactly what she always did.
Yes.
And even now with her beautiful little grandson, he's there with us.
Oh, he's adorable.
Now I bring him along. So Rachel and I have traveled similar paths. My entry into politics in Aventura was also through the school board. Our charter school had just opened. I got elected to the advisory board. I began chairing the fundraising committee, and people took notice. And I didn't come from money, so I knew, arriving in Aventura, I knew that if I wanted to serve in public office after having interned in Washington, D.C. 2 summers in a row when I was a teenager as part of a youth organization, I know I wanted to serve. I had to wait and make myself noticed and really, really serve, and then elevate myself to serve in the elected official capacity. I had to wait for someone to tap me and say, you should run. But just like Rachel, I see her now. She's where I was at that time.
Right.
When I got elected in 2005, let's see, my daughter was 11, my oldest was almost 13, and my youngest wasn't even 5 years old yet. So she's where I was then, and for those 9.5 years, I'm watching her do everything she does, and I miss it. My oldest is now 32, my daughter's 20, he has a son who's 5. My daughter is 31 and has a daughter who just turned 1. And then my youngest is about to turn 25. I visit her at home, and the chaos in her house, that she calls it, I'm like, it's not chaos. I miss this. You're hearing life.
I love it.
You're hearing your family. The kids like, Mom, where's my shoe? There's like, and I'm sitting like, nobody's screaming. She gets nervous, like, oh my God, Luz. I said, no, this is your life.
It's a normal house.
Just as an embarrassed mother to hear that there's, kids and noise and craziness. It's not all perfect.
Deep down, I know you love it too, because one day you know you're going to be just like me, sitting over drinks one night, and we're like, over our glass of wine, like, I miss my kids. Like, I genuinely miss my kids. That's why now my grandson has no choice. If you're
Because
with me
you're
and I
under
have a
budget
meeting,
tension.
We're doing it.
you're coming with.
But I think that's a great balance for parents. I
Right.
mean, if you have a career that you can
Yes.
include your kids, and especially we're talking about balance, but I think that
Right.
you're balancing your work and your family life, and you're teaching and educating your kids along the way.
Teach
Of
through example.
course.
Right.
I think I think going into those type of spaces where, especially what the League of Cities type of meetings, you get to you're meeting people and interacting with people you never would. You're from the lobbyists to the city managers to the code enforcement. These are all things that make your government local. And this is really how your life, who's affecting your everyday life. So I commend whenever I used to attend those, you see people bring their kids. I think this is amazing.
And conferences. So I
Yes.
always took one of my kids to the conferences. Sometimes in the annual one, it was like all three.
Mhm.
I was invited to Israel one year for 10 days on a very busy schedule. I even took one of my children there. To me, it was important, like to Rachel's point, lead by example, teach by example to your children.
Mhm.
My children knew to walk into a place and to shake someone's hands and to make eye contact. Don't walk around slouching. You know how to sit, you know how to stand, you know how to shake a hand, you know how to have a conversation. You're in tune with world events. You can actually talk. Even though you're 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, you can actually have a conversation. And I hope that, that's resonated and stay with them now through into adulthood so that they can do the same with their own children.
I have no
You're
doubt.
making well-rounded human beings, so I think it's
Yes,
great.
yes.
I mean, and we were just talking, your son graduated at Northwestern in journalism.
Yes, he did. He graduated a year early. I'm very proud of him.
Oh, God
And
bless.
he wants to be able to be a voice for other people. And that's what journalism always is. And
Yes.
I'm hoping that we will see a positive side of journalism coming forward. So I love that you have like this show and you're bringing in local leaders. And this is exactly like, speaking to the community through journalism is really what this is.
And having conversations that the community can relate to, because who can relate with balance?
Right. And tell me, and I think we've already kind of touched on that, including your children within the government, within your service. And showing them what service is about. I think that's amazing.
Yes.
Tell me some more. I want to hear more.
So I'll be very blunt and honest with you.
Okay.
And I've shared this with girlfriends over the years, and I tell my own children, and I'll tell my mom. My mom loves to tell people, "Oh my goodness, every time I go to an event with you, or she's at an event when I'm speaking, and she has to hear the long intro for Luz Weinberg, she's like, I'm exhausted. You sound like you've lived 3 lives." And I said, yeah, Mom, and I did it with 3 kids in tow, but you did it with 5. But I always say, anyone that says, "Oh, she's got it all. Oh, look at her. It must be nice." There is no one out there that can say that you did it all, because I'm not ashamed to admit that, yes, something's got to get missed. Right. I missed so many dance rehearsals. I missed, so many basketball games. I missed PTA meetings and thankfully I had husbands at the time and the father of my children who were very present.
See.
So it really worked beautifully, because at least at the time I didn't feel as guilty that I wasn't there, because I know they were with Dad. And I would always make up my time when I came back from wherever, or if I was late to something, or if I missed something. But no woman alive, and even no man who today have taken a more active role in the rearing of children. No one can say that, "Oh, yeah, I got it all figured out," because we all don't. I'm still learning to be the mother to adult children, because guess what? When they turn 18 and they think they're adults, you don't turn off Mommy. And they get mad because I worry too much. And I can't turn it off. I am always going to worry. I still, at 53, still, and I travel a whole lot. Andreana.
Yes.
I still call my mother every time before a plane takes off. I don't know what part, I don't care what part of the world I am. She knows I'm going to be traveling or whatever. Oh, at 3 a.m., it's going to be my 3 a.m. I'll be by the phone. She takes my call, because the last person I have always still to this day want to talk to before my plane takes off, just in case something happens, Spanish people were very superstitious, is my mother's voice. I want to hear it. And I hope I'm also teaching that to my children, It's because not only are we balancing the children, the work, our public life, but by the way, they don't call it public service for nothing. It is very public. You're under the
Yes.
microscope all the time. Your behaviors are questioned. Your anything you do is put under the microscope. We're also managing our lives with our girlfriends, our lives with the external families,
Tell me
our
about that.
children's friends.
Yeah.
I will go 2 weeks or 3 weeks that I don't see her. Or it's like a quick text, and then we have to like commit to like spend time, and then we spend the whole day together. And it's like, okay, this will last me a couple of weeks, you know.
But it's important. I think as we get older, especially when we get to a certain point, our friendships are important.
Yes.
Because these are people who have similar interests. Your friendships are people who inspire you.
Right.
And so tell me about
We
how.
were just talking about that yesterday. Tell her.
I would love to say that. So
Tell me.
I balance quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, because with law practice, the city, and my children, and I
Right.
don't have a husband to give them to 50% of the time. So my
Right.
incredible kids are mine. And I'm thankful for that. No regrets. But
Of course.
but I do balance a lot. So I have a lot of public friends, but I only have a few really close friends.
Of course.
And those friends have to understand my life, which they do, which is why they're my friends. But that means they're people that you said are interesting and have something to bring to you.
Mhm.
And I have to say, and not because Luce is older than me, because she's not really, but I have a few women friends that I look up to as mentors, as powerhouses, and who educate me every day. And she's an example. My former mayor, a female, is Enid Weissman, is like that as well.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. And they inspire me, and they understand my life. They understand if I am in the middle of a court hearing, I will text you and I will get back to you. It may be in a few days, but it's
Mhm.
okay. Or if my kids have just come home from a full day of school and after school activities, I need to give them dinner and actually focus on them. They're not expecting me to stay on the phone and chat. And again, I will just hang up on you.
Mhm.
And I'm not really good about making dinner plans for the future, because if I get a last minute opportunity, I may call and say, let's go out. But if you ask me to schedule for 2 weeks in advance, it might not happen.
Right.
So I do
right.
think you have to balance your life with whatever you're doing, with the people that are
Understand your life.
Right.
understand your
Who have thick
Yes.
skin.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you have to have thick skin.
Thick skin. Absolutely.
Look.
Yeah.
Um.
But not only that, Andreana,
Right.
not just thick skin, but love you and admire or respect you enough to
Unconditional.
understand that if I don't answer your texts in the next 10 minutes, and if it takes me end of day, it's clearly because I'm doing something. Usually if we take long responding to each other, it's usually, are you okay? The next test will be, are you okay? Because that's
Right.
where the concern lies. So I've streamlined and thinned out and prioritized my friendships over the last 5 years tremendously.
Yes.
If I've been always the one doing the reach and trying to get us to hang out, I'm done with that. I'm sorry. It's a two-way street. You should be just as interested to hang out with me. If you keep getting upset because I didn't call you back and it's been 2 days, because I'm sorry, I got distracted. Right now I got like 7 clients and adult kids and a husband and friends that I value,
Mhm.
then you cannot be in my circle. It needs to be other friends and males too. I have some very good male friends who get it. Men are
much better at that, by the
artists
way.
at
They're
this,
really better
experts.
at this.
There is no bro like, oh bro, what's up? It's been 2 days. No, they don't do that. They just, whenever you call them back, they call them back. I need women also in my life that are that way, and we've managed to establish that understanding. She's like, oh my god, I'm so, she'll be on the phone. I gotta go. I said, shh, go.
Right.
Go have dinner with the kids. Do not ever apologize about spending time with your kids, because
She
the
always
only
says that
people
to me.
you'll have
She's
to
good.
you have to ever apologize to is your children for not spending time with them. And I apologize. My love language is acts of service. And so is my apology language. It's acts of service. I mean, I might not be great. I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I will do stuff for you. And
Yes.
so I spend my life doing acts of service for my children constantly, as a way to show, one, that I love them,
Mhm.
and two, that I'm sorry. I'm sorry I missed that dance. I'm sorry I missed that game. I'm sorry I missed that meeting. Or but they knew it was not quantity, it was quality. And I, having 3 children, I do a lot of alone time, and we talked about this
Yes.
a lot.
As I said, she
Single
mentors me.
time,
She gives me
yes,
advice.
yes,
Go with one
yes.
child
Just
alone to
alone,
give
just
that
one-on-one.
child the attention.
Absolutely. My children love that. Sports games were all about me and my older, my daughter and I did theater. My younger one and I he loves to just be home. To this day, he's 25 years old. When he comes over, he loves to just hang out and watch a movie with me, like, or go to the movies with me. I love that one-on-one
That's
time
awesome.
with your kids and your friends.
Your girlfriends.
And that's the way you can actually see what's going on.
Yeah. And by the
Like,
way, we
if
also are the
change.
ones that take our moms to the doctor's appointments. So we have to
Well,
factor that into the mix.
Yes,
So-
she's right.
I drive up to take my father, and I
You
love to
see?
do it. And I
Yes.
want to be there for
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good
So I
feeling.
I think Luz touched on something like, you know, the only things if we regret anything. I mean, I give a lot to my kids and a lot to work and a lot to the community. And if
Mhm.
I had extra time, I'd give more to my own parents because
Mhm.
that's where. But again, this morning I did take my mother to a doctor's appointment. And it's not about going to the doctor's appointment. It was the time we got to spend together in the car and
Right.
waiting in the waiting room and the car ride home. It was about that. It wasn't about going to the doctor. But, you know, balancing, that's a little thing I wish I had extra more time. I mean, my parents live close. And people think I talk to my mom on the phone every day, which I do.
Well, she wants you
But
to.
which I do every day, not because I have to, because I want to every day.
Right.
But the time to drive over to her house and see her is just whipping out a little extra time in the day that I can't always find as much as I want to. But you know, I am trying to balance that in. I'm trying to add that in. I have a very close girlfriend. Her father's been sick recently, and she said to me, speak to your mom every day, which I do. So I just
Right.
take that part almost for granted. But if you have a parent, to see them, hug them, because all of our lives are too short, and we also never know what tomorrow is. So
Amen. That's a true
Yeah.
statement.
just hug and love the ones you can. So we just, you know, life throws challenges of things that you don't expect.
That's a true statement. That's a true statement. I thank you
You're
guys
gonna make
for
me
sharing.
cry.
Oh, stop.
Stop.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose forever, but it's true. Just, you know.
But we have a lot of conversations, and that's what I love about our friendship. It's not superficial. We all might talk a little business here and there because, of course, we're
Similar
business
interests.
women.
Right.
But she's at a point in her life right now where I was a few years back. So yeah, I'm able to mentor her a bit, but I also learn, and she inspires me so much just watching what she does. Just yesterday, we were with a group of other friends at a pool. We made our own little party, and she's sitting there with her laptop.
On
She
a
had
Sunday.
on a
Make sure
Sunday
you
afternoon.
understand that was
She
Sunday.
invited everybody over, yet she's the one on her laptop in the brief, and there isn't a single one of us that was upset. We were like taking pictures of her and making fun of her. Like, look at her, there she is, look at her. And she's just like, but she's still engaging with us. She's still talking to us. Like, okay, hold on. Because she's got a thought and she's got to finalize it. And then it was like, we all had to be quiet because she was just going to read it through before she sent it to her law partner. So I love that. In the meantime, her youngest daughter is coming and going through the pool with her friend. It's like we're all blending in. And her other friend had his 2 daughters over. Like, to the extent that we can, we all just try to lift each other up and
It's
help
amazing.
each other up through our business, through our public office, public life, whatever we need, and the children that are going. If I can recommend anything to your listeners and your audience, is that surround yourself with people that inspire you and help you in your journey to be a better person, to be a better parent, to be a better public servant if you are, to be a better employee or a better consultant, whatever it is that you are, to be better. That's what my band says. Be better, work harder, because I love to remind myself of that every day. I've lost a few friends. One friend, I basically just, I can't do this anymore because, oh, you're so lucky. Every time I had a trip or got a speaking engagement or got a new client, oh, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And I was saying, yeah, it's true. The harder I work, the luckier I get.
Right.
That's not someone you need around you, because if they see the fruit of your hard labor as some kind of luck that you somehow were, the universe entitled you to, no, I made this happen.
This
I
was a life
worked
journey.
hard. Then that's not someone you want around you. You want someone that goes, oh my God, it's so cool that you did that. Send me pictures or tell me more. That's who you want around you. And
Exactly.
and I think that balances everything, because if you surround yourself with that support system,
Mm-hmm.
everything just kind of falls into place. But don't be mistaken, you will miss things. Not everything gets done. And there'll be days of conflict, like today,
Yes.
like I'm going to have on Wednesday. There'll be days of conflict, but it's about prioritizing. And for someone with small children, those children are always going to come first. And everybody
Yes.
around her has to understand that, like people did with me when it was my turn.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Tell me this. What do you do for yourself?
Oh, wow. I'm married to an Italian. So a glass of wine at dinner every night is mandatory. And that to me is a sacred moment. I am
Oh, is that why when I called you on Friday night, you're like, we're just sitting down to dinner? And I was like,
just sitting
oh,
down.
no, I get it. I had just left an all-day deposition, all day.
I still took her call,
She
mind you.
did, because she knew it was a very important
Let
day.
me tell you how cute she is.
Oh.
How cute she
No,
is.
I had no
I
idea.
say we just sat down, and she knows my husband well and how he is about food. Once the food's at the
But
table,
I wanted to
you
tell her
eat.
about my
Right.
my
She's seen you
taste,
do
my
it.
day. I
And-
was so excited.
But I wanted to hear about her
share.
day. That's why I answered the call.
It did take me
but
for
I'm like,
3 minutes.
we just sat down to dinner, which I know she knows what that means.
Right.
So she's so excited, and she knows I want to hear. So she still goes on for like 3 minutes about how her day went.
And then I went, okay, tomorrow we'll continue the
Tomorrow
rest.
we continue.
I did.
And click.
Oh,
And that is beautiful.
And no
so
one's
for
offended.
myself,
Yeah.
I love my
Okay.
time with my grandson. And if
He's
he has to come to a
adorable.
meeting, he comes to a meeting. But just being in his presence brings me joy. I love when I get to visit my granddaughter in Colorado. I love my time with my husband because he's my best friend, and we genuinely enjoy each other's company, especially over a glass of wine. That is my me time. I do love a good massage, and I love brunch with my girlfriends, my very close knit friend. And I do love to sleep. So to this day, and when my kids were little, if you ask them what's mommy's favorite thing to do, they'll always say sleep, because to me sleep is sacred. And we didn't even get into the whole balancing part of taking care of ourselves. And
Right.
she's a few years behind me, but I'm entering the whole world of menopause and body changes and mood
Yes.
changes and priorities of realizing you need to prioritize your life. There's changes you have to make. So you have to incorporate all that. So right now, a lot of me time
Mm-hmm.
is me sitting at a doctor's office, just making sure all this continues to work for the next 30, 40 years, hopefully.
Understandable.
So I know Rachel loves to go to the gym. So and she does other things on her own. I'll let you speak for yourself on what you do.
I mean, I know it sounds really silly, but for me, my cup of coffee in the morning is for me. And I make it very creamy and sweet, and
Mm-hmm.
I like to have a quiet house and a cup of coffee before there's anybody, and that's kind of really my center time
Mm-hmm.
where
That quiet of that calm of the morning.
it is, and again, I need that caffeine too, but
she doesn't need the caffeine, by the way.
You're a firecracker all day.
But it's
your
that time
energy's
to get
amazing.
centered, to figure out everything I'm going to do and prioritize and feel ready to go. And I really love and enjoy that quiet time.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up here in Florida and grew up near the water, like where, nearby you. And any chance that I get, I'm on a boat, at the beach, or at a pool, and I'm in the sunshine. And that is for me. I mean, I
Okay.
love it when there's friends and family, they're with me. But weekends, if it's not raining, I'm outside. And that's for me. Again, I might be there with my laptop because my clients need me.
Yes.
But it's outside. I will be there enjoying the nature, the outside, the fresh air, the beauty that we get to live in South Florida year
Right.
round. And I mean, you're right. They're not just for me, a lot of the things I do for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But that is for me, because it's funny. It sounds so silly, but I never used to make my kids school lunch. I always tried to get them to buy school lunch just because it takes a lot of time in the morning.
Yes. Yes.
And this year, my daughters said, "Mom, we really don't like school lunch." Sorry for listening to my mom on a school governing board. But they really said, "Mom, we really want lunch from home. And our friends bring salads, and our friends bring pasta, and our friends bring hummus and vegetables and carrots, and we don't want the school lunch as much." So, and I'm not really good in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, the opposite.
Not.
I'm not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not really make dinners and stuff. But this year, in that after that time of coffee, I started to wake up and make school lunch. And I can tell you, I really hate it, but I love it. And every time I'm making, even if it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and I'm cutting the knife, that old saying that if the food is made with love, you're putting love into it.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm making my kids lunch with love. If I make ramen, I mean, I make silly things, very easy. But it's like, I feel like it's something I'm doing for myself because my oldest one is in college now. And I feel like this is my chance to experience like this love of mommying. And I won't lie. I mean, as I said, like there's been a big balance between running off to court and get the kids to school as quickly as I can. So the minute I have time to make school lunch, as much as it's a chore, it's like this love poured into whatever I'm making. I make the greatest turkey sandwiches in the world when they go to schools.
I love it. I'm going to have to have one.
I love it. Sure.
But
she just mentioned this to me yesterday, and I was almost in tears hearing her talk about how something you wouldn't even give importance to, just making your kids lunch. She's loving it.
I just love it because when I do have an early morning at court or something, and I don't get that chance. And I just feel like there's like, I pour this little love into a sandwich.
And it means so much to them because they're actually eating something they want.
It's the best sandwich ever.
I hope it is. Yeah, otherwise, I would have paid the $3 for school lunch. But
this goes back into our duties as mother, being a mother and being a career woman mother. And I think that's beautiful. I know they'll cherish that, making their lunches, and you'll always remember you doing that too.
I'm trying
with everything that you do to be able to bring that in. That's beautiful.
I love you. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Listen, this is what I always say.
Don't leave me hanging.
This is what I say. It's always about trying.
Yeah.
Just try. Get up and try every day. You may not succeed and do it all perfectly, but you get up and try every single time. I'll just leave you on a little, I don't know what our time frame is. So are we out of time?
Please keep going.
Oh, I don't know if we're out of time. So my daughter plays on a girls' basketball team. And a few months ago, I never told you this story.
She's so
good. I never told you the story. A few months ago, while I was recovering from an injury, I had a surgery on my leg. I couldn't go to all of her basketball games. And I guess I would send her text messages, kind of like in the old days, your mom would write you a note. I'd send her text messages. Cammie, you got this. You can run down that court. Just shoot, take it, go for every chance you get. And she would, I guess, take these messages and read them as her grandparents were taking her to the basketball game. So this season started, and they haven't been doing very well. They actually lost 3 games in a row. And she said to me, Mom, you remember when you couldn't come to my games? You would send me those messages. They would really like pipe me up and, encourage me and get me excited. It might help. But now we're sitting in the car. It's not a text message. This was 2 weeks ago, to tell you the truth. And I said, all right, Cammie, you can do this. You can do it. And she said, no, Mom, it's not working. So this Saturday morning, I got up and I wrote her another text message earlier before she woke up. And I gave her an inspirational text message.
I love that.
And then as we drove to the game, I'm not the coach. I don't know the basketball rules at all. I said, Cammie, here's my lesson. Go for it. Go for it. Every shot, go for it. Coach might not agree with me, but I said, go for it. Worst thing is you shoot, doesn't make it. Someone gets a rebound, you do it again. Go for it. Go for it. So we went to her game on Saturday. They had lost 3 games in a row. I stood on the sides, switched sides, either side she was shooting at, followed her side, and I screamed from every single side, go for it, go for it. You got it, go for it, go for it. Out of 39 points, the kid made 30.
Oh, amazing.
It was a close game. They fought her hard, but she made 30 out of 39 points. I think the other team had lost by she had 39. I guess they were at 35. It was a close game.
Right.
But that's the attitude. Go for it.
Yes.
We might fail. We might not win it. We might not make every basket. Just go for it. When I ran in this election, people said, you're not going to win and beat an incumbent. I went for it.
I remember you from the other campaigns, and I was like, oh, she's a tough cookie. She's going to be out there.
So that's, I mean, if I can say anything.
Your biography, just go for it.
I know, I could be a Nike, but I didn't,
just do it.
I didn't expect it. As I said, I was only talking to my daughter for her basketball game.
But think how much that meant to her.
It
She was like,
worked.
what happened to those
And
messages?
she heard me screaming from the sides, go for it, go for it. And it worked. And I think that's a lesson for everybody, for
Yes.
all of us
That's an
in
inspiring
life.
message to
Yeah.
leave us on. So
Yes,
ladies,
that's the balancing message. Go for it.
Yeah.
yes, ladies, I want to thank you both for taking time coming from Aventura to the studio to meet with us. This has been a very inspiring
Yes,
conversation.
very fun.
I'm honored to be able to get you both here and making it happen today. So thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. And
Thank you for
bringing
thinking
us-
of having that conversation. I think it's very important.
I think healing. I think just different conversations on getting us better.
Yes.
We don't know what everybody's going through every day. So if we can just give a little kindness through our service, a little grace with people in time, and we'll be better.
Please and thank
I
you.
agree. I
Thank you,
agree.
Andreana.
I agree. Thank you. Listen, thank you for creating this show to educate and teach others. I hope we can help inspire others. I hope people to do service, to do kind acts. And you know what, as you said about healing, I did go through healing and my kids go through healing, but that's what I think it is. It's go for it.
It's a process. It doesn't happen in a day, and everything that you guys are doing to help your families, to help your community, you do it with such grace and style. I had to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
thank you. Thank you for tuning into The Balance.